Do you know velocity time graph not only used for finding the acceleration and displacement but can also be used to derive 5 kinematic equations for uniform accelerated motion? Yes, you heard right. Not 3, not 4, but 5 kinematic equations for uniform accelerated motion. Stay with me and see how easily you can derive these equations using a velocity time graph for a linear car motion. Kinematics. Kinematics is the branch of mechanics that deals with pure motion. Motion without reference to masses or forces involved in it. Pure motion involved following 4 variables: velocity, acceleration, displacement, and time. Out of these 4 variables, 3 are vectors. Vector quantities have direction as well as magnitude. So if a vector quantity is constant, it means its magnitude and directions are constant. In case when velocity of an object is constant, the object travels in fixed direction with constant speed. This motion is known as uniform motion. Now, uniform motion with constant acceleration is known as uniform accelerated motion. Now, let's consider a car moving with a constant acceleration a. Okay, if I take a snapshot of this motion at any instant of time, let's take t is equal to 0 second. The velocity of the car can be considered as an initial velocity u. Now, if I take another snapshot at another instant of time t, the velocity can be considered as a final velocity v. Now, during this time period, car traveled a distance. The distance s will be equal to the displacement in case of a straight line motion. So this way we have 5 different variables for this car motion. In an initial velocity u, the final velocity v, acceleration a, displacement s, and time t. Now the different combination of these variables in a group of 4 creates 5 different most popular equations of motions. These equations are these. Now we are going to derive these equations one by one using the velocity time graph. Now let's take the first equation. For that, here is the car motion and we have equation number 1, and the velocity time graph for this car motion is presented by this graph. Here, if you see at t is equal to 0, the velocity is u, the initial velocity. Then at time t, the velocity is v, which is a point B. We know that the slope of velocity time graph gives you acceleration a. Okay. So how we can find out the slope of this graph? To find out the slope of a straight line on graph, we have to find out the rise and run. What is rise? Rise here on the y-axis, how much change happened during the time period. So rise is given by CB. Here, if you see, CB is v minus u. V is this total distance, right, up to this point, and u is up to this point. So this one is v minus u, right? What about run? Run is on x-axis or horizontal axis where the time changing, right? So time change from 0 to t. So run is t minus 0. So now as per slope is what? Rise, which is v minus u, divided by run, t minus 0, or you can say vertical divided by horizontal for angle ABAC, okay, this angle. So slope of this graph gives you acceleration. Now by rearranging this, you can write down AT equal to v minus u, or you can say v equal to AT plus u, or v is equal to u plus AT, right? And this is what your first equation of motion. So by using the slope of the velocity time graph, you can derive the first equation of motion. Now let's check out the second equation. Here, second equation is related to displacement. How we can find out the displacement from velocity time graph? The area under the curve and enclosed by the time axis, t, time axis, gives you the displacement during that motion. There are different methods to find out the area under this curve, and these different methods lead to the derivation of different equations of motion. Let's see how we can do it. Okay. So in the first case, to derive this equation number 2, we will divide this whole area in two parts. The upper part is a triangle, which is ABC. The lower part is in a rectangle, ACDO. Okay. Now this triangle height is V minus U as per the graph. Okay. And the height of rectangle is U, the initial velocity. Now we will divide the height of the triangle in two parts, two equal parts. Top part height is V minus U by T, and the bottom part is also V minus U by T. Okay. Now if you see the triangle RBS, the triangle RBS is exactly same the triangle TRA. Okay. If I flip this triangle, it will perfectly match with the TBA. Okay. So I will put this triangle at this place. Now you see the whatever triangle was there, now it's converted into rectangle. The area of the triangle is equal to the area of this rectangle, the TSCA. So now the displacement S will be equal to the area of these two rectangles. Area of the upper rectangle, this one, the area of this one is the height, which is V minus U by 2, multiplied by the width, which is nothing but the time, t minus 0 or t. Now plus I need to add the area of the bottom rectangle, which is OACD, right? So height of this rectangle is U, so U into width, which is t. I can write down Vt by 2 minus Ut by 2 plus Ut. So further simplifying this will give you half U plus V into T, which is nothing but your second equation of motion, right? So by finding the area under the curve by this method, you can derive this equation number 2. Okay. Now let's move to the equation number 3. Since this equation is also related to displacement, we are going to use the another method to find out the area under this curve and enclosed by the time axis, and we derive this equation. So S equal to the area of the triangle ABC, which is nothing but half into height, which is V minus U, multiplied by time, plus the area of the bottom rectangle, which is OACD, so U into T. Now this V minus U I can put from first equation of motion. First equation of motion was V is equal to U plus AT, right? So what does that mean? V minus U is equal to AT. Right? If I put this value into this, so S become half, instead of U minus V you can put AT, right, into T plus UT, and this become UT plus half AT square. This is equal to S, and this is what your third equation of motion. Now let's check the equation number 4. As we see, this equation also contains a displacement S. So we are going to derive this equation from the same method by finding out the area under this graph and enclosed by time axis. Basically, to find out the area of this shape OABD. Here the shape OABD is a trapezoid, or some people say trapezium. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral which has two parallel lines and two are unparalleled lines. In that type of shapes, the area of this shape is given by the average of two parallel lines. In this case, this is u plus v by 2. U is this height up to this and v is this height. Okay? So the average of parallel lines multiplied by the distance between these two parallel lines. So here the distance is t, so multiplied by t, and that is what the area, which is basically the displacement during this motion. Now, since we don't need t in this equation, so we will replace t by using the first equation of motion. As per first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus at. That means t is equal to v minus u by a. Okay? Once we replace t by this value, we will get displacement equal to u plus v by 2 multiplied by v minus u by a. And this will be equal to v square minus u square by 2a. Further simplifying it, it will be 2as equal to v square minus u square, and this will give you the fourth equation, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Now let's check out the final equation, which is s equal to vt minus at square. Okay. Again, this equation is for displacement, so we are going to use the area under the curve. So here the displacement is area of this trapezium, right? And the area of the trapezium is, as we discussed just now, can be given the average of two parallel lines multiplied by the distance between these two parallel lines, t. Right? So here in this we don't have u. So we need to replace u from the equation number 1. So as per equation number 1, which is v is equal to u plus at, right? That means u is equal to v minus at. We have to put in this equation. So here the s will be, instead of u, v minus at plus v divided by 2 multiplied by t. So vt minus half at square, right? And that's what the equation is. So s equal to vt minus half at square. So you would have observed that the first equation is derived by the slope of velocity time graph, and remaining 4 equations were derived by finding out the area enclosed by the velocity time graph and the time axis. And there are different ways to find out the area between the graph and the time axis, and that is what we use to derive these different equations. Now you might have seen that by different methods we are deriving the same equation or different equations also, right? So that is all depend you how you want to derive it, by using which method of finding out the area under the curve, and it leads to the derivation of different equations. And that's all we have for today's session. Now it is a time for 3 conceptual questions. Try these questions and put your comments, your solutions or doubts in comment box. I hope you would have enjoyed this session. And if you think you have learned something new today, then please click like button. And subscribe us for similar type of easy to learn videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.